What up, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, focus people, focus. And, I don't do the government cheese when somebody gets hurt. I just don't think it's cool to make fun of somebody getting hurt like that. In basketball, there's injuries, and we try to guesstimate if the injury is real or fake. We try to, we do this whole thing of, are they trying to play with our emotions? Are they trying to fool us? We do that whole thing because we know that the NBA is fixed. We know that sports are fixed. And we know that some people are in on it, some people are not. We know the apex players are in on it. They get that extra cheese just to, play the game, play the role. But when you have an injury that looks like this, you know that's not fake. Now, somebody might come along and say this is a fake injury. But I highly, 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 highly doubt it. What's weird is that it's against the Timberwolves, and they're all hyped up because of Derrick Rose being on the squad until the end of the season. And possibly, going into the next season, but I doubt it because that's just not how Derrick Rose works. But nonetheless, this young man, who is Jaylen Brown, I don't know if he's a starter. I don't know what his stats are, but what I do know is that he went up for a dunk and he came down, and he had to leave the game because he held on to the rim too long. Now, we've seen this before. Heck, we've seen people do this on the court ourselves. They're so happy that they can finally dunk, and they hang on to the rim too long trying to show out and do an Allen Iverson, and trying to stun somebody. And, forget to let go of the rim or let go of the rim too late. And that's pretty much what happened here. But Mr. Brown was concussed. Even the announcer said it before he even got up. You could see how he's concussed here. His hands balled up. This is a nervous reaction. I'm no doctor. But right here, he's trying to get his equilibrium back. Probably got the wind knocked out of him, too, because he hit his back here, the atlas, and, of course, the back of the cranium. And that's enough to take you out of this world, to be truthful. If you don't believe that, you can go and look at Dale Earnhardt's video and see how his neck jerked back from the car crash, and it took him out of this world. And there have been plenty of people who've been laid out because of concussions. This is why football is becoming a game of, pitter-pat. It should just be flag football. Because to hit somebody real hard now in football, you're going to get fined a great deal. But also you can tell that he's dazed here. His body's trying to do something, his mind is trying to do something else. So the connection right here to get up and, it's just a bad thing. It's an ugly thing here. Now the Celtics, with all their manpower, have a good chance of going to the championship. Now, some of you are going to say, nah, but the Celtics are in third place right now. Okay.
The Celtics are currently 46-20. That is second place in the Atlantic Division.
That's second place in the Atlantic, but that's third place overall. The only people that are ahead of them are the Raptors. I'm sorry, that's fourth place. The Raptors are ahead of them. Houston is ahead of them because they have 50 games, and Golden State is ahead of them. So they're in fourth place, and they're running a very close fourth place because the Raptors only got one game on them. Well, they got 3 losses more than Raptors, but you guys get my point. They're still top contenders. I mean, they're a number 1 seed team right now. And, with only, one team in their division standing in their way, they can beat the Raptors in the divisional playoffs. Then, of course, they're going to have to face they're going to have to face the Rockets, and that's when things are going to get hairy. But right now, the Cavs aren't even really a threat to them. Not really. The Cavs are always a threat. But, the way it looks right now is what I'm saying. So, I pray that the Lord Christ King sends his healing angels, because he was able to get up. Mr. Brown was able to get up. Everybody's kind of stunned, and we all know the Gordon Hayward injury that happened earlier this year, which left the Celtics very questionable. There's the man, the myth, the legend, Kyrie Irving. But we know that Celtics were left questionable after Gordon Hayward's injury, and he's supposed to return. And he's supposed to return by the playoffs, as a matter of fact. So, once again, I don't think this was a fake injury. I think it's very real. I think he's very, very hurt. And there is, the reality of this is, it's not blamed on somebody else. Because people used to low cut you when you went to the hoop like that. They used to bridge you right here. You know what I'm saying? They get right up under you, you fall back, break your neck. Nobody cared. Everybody thought it was funny. And this is usually how you would fall if you got bridged. But he didn't get bridged. He just let go too late. This defender right here had nothing to do with it. As a matter of fact, the play is over as far as he's concerned. He's going to get the ball. But Mr. Brown he let it go a little too late. He came down. He fell, 6-7 feet onto his back, and he was laid out. So, like I said, he was able to get up and properly walk away. But this is a major injury for more than one reason. Like I said, this defender right here thought the play was over. He's like, okay, the play's over. I just got dunked on. And Mr. Brown is skyward right here. Jaylen Brown is skyward. This is not a fake injury. I know we're a bunch of skeptics on this channel, but there's just, this is scary right here. Boom. And you got to understand the impact here. Here's where the impact goes. But then you have his whole spine that can easily be bruised for the rest of his life right now. He could have easily been paralyzed because of this. As a matter of fact, there was a basketball player who was paralyzed because of an incident, something like this, but it was off the court. Forgot what his name is. But what he did was he was riding on his four-wheeler. And a four-wheeler stopped short, hit a ditch, and he dove over it. Like his body kept going forward, and he went to do a forward roll, and he landed square on his axis, on his atlas, and it snapped his his spine. I think it's a thoracic. So there's three parts of the spine: the cervical, thoracic, and I forgot the other one. But nonetheless, one of the vertebrae in his atlas, or from the atlas down, in the upper part of his spine snapped. And that player is still paralyzed to my knowledge. But that was the end of his career. But like I said, Jaylen was able to get up on his own fruition. He was just very hurt. And he was able to walk out. And I know one of you guys are going to ask me to show it again, show the video. But, for copyright reasons, I usually don't. Here it is, slow motion, and he just, basically he slipped. So he was trying to hang on and then come back out. That's how they usually do, but his fingers slipped. And you can see his fingers slipping here. Anyways, I'm not going to overanalyze this. There's a slip, right? Here, now I want to bring something else up for those of you who played. Remember, the rims used to not do this. They did this because people like Shaquille O'Neal would come and shatter this whole backboard from dunking on it. But these are breakaway rims. Remember, they didn't have the breakaways. They stopped this, what, in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s? They start having breakaway rims. Like, this rim is going to break away. Watch. See, they didn't have that. That bounce that that rim had, it wasn't like that. This dude would have shattered the whole backboard from that play, and this all would have came down on him. You know, back in the day. When he would have came down, all this glass would have came down with him, the whole thing. But basically, he slipped. His fingers are going to slip here again. Boom. See how all this moved? Didn't do that before. Anyway, it's your boy Tone 202. Love the Lord Christ thy God, and get yourself saved. I'm out.